Hi everybody, my name is Paul Garrard. I'm a student loan consultant and I'm very pleased to be working with the American Dental Education Association, ADEA, to provide you with some information designed to help you do a better job of financing your dental education. We're delighted to welcome you and we are delighted you are participating in the 2016 ADEA Pre-Dental Virtual Fair. In this short module, we're going to cover a number of items, including cost considerations, smart budgeting, and how smart budgeting can lead to responsible borrowing and ultimately responsible repayment of your student loans. We'll talk a little bit about the student loan portfolio and what you can expect to borrow while you're in dental school. We'll leave you with some action items and some resources to help you as you finance your dental education. Now, some quick comments about the cost of attendance at your dental school. Your financial aid office will have for you what's called a financial aid budget or cost of attendance number. And this includes items such as tuition and fees, book and supply cost, insurance cost, room and board, transportation, personal expenses. This is their best estimate of what it's going to cost you each year at dental school. Look at the budget carefully and determine what you have some control over and focus on those items. Don't obsess about or worry about items out of your control, such as tuition. Look at the living expense component. Look at transportation and personal expenses. Try your best to stay under that budget, and remember that consumer debt, if you have any, cannot be part of your cost of attendance number. You really need to pay that down or pay it off completely before you get to dental school. Never borrow more than you need. We do encourage you again to not assume you need the full cost of attendance number. You may want to try to borrow less than that initially and then borrow more money later throughout the year if you do need additional funds. You can work with your financial aid office on that. We'd also encourage you to be cautious about private loans. As you'll find out in just a moment, if you don't already know, you can borrow your full cost of attendance with federal loans such as direct unsubsidized and direct plus loans. So be cautious about private loans. They simply do not have the repayment flexibility and the forgiveness provisions available on federal loans. Always talk to your financial aid office first before considering a private loan. Now, we'd encourage you to try and look at the relationship between things that you do now and the implications they can have long-term for you. In other words, smart budgeting really can lead to responsible borrowing and ultimately to responsible repayment. If you make poor budget decisions in school, you may be forced into a repayment plan that you really don't want after graduation. In other words, you might have been in a position to aggressively pay your debt down, but if you used your credit card a lot and you built up consumer debt while you were in dental school, you may have to focus on that when you get out of dental school instead of aggressively repaying, and that might mean a lengthy repayment plan for your student loans that you really don't want, but that you have to use because of your consumer debt. So making poor budget choices during school can put you in an unwanted repayment plan after graduation. Borrowing under budget, which we will reference a bit later, will put you in a position, or certainly could put you in a position, where you can borrow more money later if you need to. You can borrow up to the cost of attendance at any time during dental school. So borrowing under budget lets you see how well you're going to do on your own budget that you've established, hopefully a budget under the full cost of attendance number at your dental school. Another benefit of that is that with the direct unsubsidized loan and the direct plus loan, these loans accrue interest when they are dispersed. So if you can delay borrowing additional money by staying under your budget, you're going to reduce or delay the interest accrual on those loans, and that can save you money. Very important. Also, if you find that you borrowed funds that you don't need, you can work with your financial aid office, and it's our understanding that if those are returned within 120 days, you will pay no fees on those loans, and you can work very carefully with your financial aid office on that. So smart budgeting is going to lead to responsible borrowing and responsible repayment. Now, this is a listing of some of the different loans you may have in your student loan portfolio as you go through dental school and when you graduate. The first two, Direct Unsubsidized and Direct Plus, comprise the majority of borrowing for many dental school graduates. We're going to get into those in particular in just a moment on 2 additional slides. Some dental schools have the availability of what are called campus-based loans, which include the health profession student loan, the loans for disadvantaged students, and in some cases, institutional loans, loans that come directly from the school. You'll always want to check with your financial aid office about the availability of campus-based loans because they are not available at all schools. Some of you may be interested in borrowing private loans. We will strongly encourage you once again to speak with the financial aid office before you take out a private loan, either in lieu of federal funds or in addition to federal funds. So let's look now at Direct Unsubsidized and Direct Plus loans. Now, you always want to try and get scholarship and grant funds first, but many dental schools, in fact most, will require you to at least apply for what's called the Direct Unsubsidized loans. Some folks still refer to these as Stafford loans. Direct simply means the lender is the federal government. The U.S. Department of Education is actually the lender on behalf of the federal government, so there's no bank involved. Unsubsidized means that the interest is building up or accruing during dental school and the 6-month grace period you have on these loans. You do not have to pay the interest while you're in school and during grace, but no one is picking it up for you. That's an unsubsidized loan. The limit is $40,500 per year. Some dental school financial aid offices will prorate that amount up depending on how long your budget is for the year. There is a fixed interest rate on direct unsubsidized loans. We're recording this in May of 2016, and the current rate is 5.84%. But listen very carefully, the rate changes on new loans every July 1 of each year. Once again, there's a 6-month grace period. These loans come due 6 months after you graduate. There are multiple repayment plans available for direct unsubsidized loans, and these are eligible for forgiveness and also eligible for forgiveness through the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. Now, depending on the cost at your dental school and depending on what other kind of aid you get, you may need additional funds over and above direct unsubsidized loans. And if that's the case, you are likely going to borrow what's called a Direct Plus loan, also referred to in some circles as Grad Plus loans. The limit is the cost of attendance minus other aid, including the direct unsubsidized loans. So regardless of what school you go to and regardless of their cost, you can borrow up to the full cost of attendance with a Direct Plus loan minus other aid. So this is a reminder that you can in fact get enough funding to attend any dental school in the country. These loans also have a fixed rate. The current rate is 6.84%. Once again, we're recording this in May of 2016, and the rate changes on new loans every July 1, just like direct unsubsidized loans. These loans don't have a grace period, but they do have a 6-month post-enrollment deferment, so they come due about 6 months after you graduate. These loans also have multiple repayment provisions or repayment plans available to them, just like direct unsubsidized loans. And these loans are eligible for forgiveness and also eligible for forgiveness through the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. Now, some action items as we close up this short module for you. First of all, we've mentioned before the importance of the relationship with the financial aid office. Be sure you work closely with them to be sure that you don't miss any deadlines and application materials for scholarship and grant funds. They can also help keep you abreast of any changes in the repayment plans and the loan programs you'll be needing as a dental school student. Be sure you set up a realistic budget and stick to it and compare it very closely to the cost of attendance number at your dental school each year. Never borrow more than you need, and in fact, we would encourage you to consider borrowing less than the cost of attendance number and then going back in later if you need additional funds. Pay down consumer debt before you start dental school. Remember, it cannot be included in the cost of attendance number. You cannot borrow funds to pay down consumer debt. We would encourage you also to manage your loans online with your loan servicer. Once you get student financial aid in the form of loans, you'll have a loan servicer and you can set up your account with them. Also, we would strongly encourage you to use the AAMC ADEA Dental Loan Organizer and Calculator available at aamc.org/godental. This is a terrific way to help manage your student loan debt as you go through dental school. There are a number of different resources we would encourage you to be familiar with and to use on a regular basis to help you as you finance dental school and as you keep track of your student loans, not only in dental school, but as you enter repayment. The National Student Loan Data System site at nslds.ed.gov. We've already talked about the AAMC ADEA Dental Loan Organizer and Calculator. Your loan servicer's website, regardless of who your loan servicer is, be sure that you establish a relationship there and that you get your loans online so that you can manage them on your loan servicer's website. That's where you're going to be working in terms of repayment activity. Also, federal student aid at studentloans.gov. Under the Managing Repayment tab, you'll see a lot of information that should be beneficial to you. So lots of resources at your disposal. Be sure you bookmark these important sites. On behalf of the American Dental Education Association, ADEA, we wish you the very best for every success in dental school, and we're delighted that you attended and are participating in the 2016 ADEA Pre-Dental Virtual Fair.